Welcome back, everybody, to yet another show here on the Oshay Vlogcast channel. For those of you who are live, welcome to the show. For those of you who are just coming in, welcome also. Like the video. You guys know that it's good to be back here on this particular channel. And furthermore, it's even greater to have an esteemed guest uh, joining me. Like I said, is a guy we all know. He got that S curl in his head, so he got that good hair.
Here we go.
Yeah, a lot of y'all niggas gonna be jealous. But joining me, man, is a man who needs no introduction. He's a book author, a professional dating coach, senior writer on the Negromanosphere.com. He's just achieved so much in his life, man. Very, very smart brother. I'm glad that he was accepted the offer when I wanted him to come to the Negromanosphere, man. And he gave me a lot of credibility that I didn't have. The one, the only, Alan Roger Currie with Mode One. What's up, Alan?
What's up, my man Oshay, man? Black man in Poland.
You know it. I got a new episode on there, right? Did you see it?
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. Dude, I watched that one episode with the clip with me in it, man, like 1,000 times, man.
Yeah, I know. So I know if I want to get you to watch it a lot, I need to put you in there more. In fact, I need you to resend that video to me, the one I was talking to you about, where you called that call said, bitch, please send that to me so I could I can get that in, man. But glad to always have you, man. You've been a great inspiration on this part of YouTube, as known as the Black Manosphere. Now, obviously, there was the Manosphere at large, but you and your thought processes and writings have really, really, really switched it up here. So glad to be here. In the Tony Mason says ball rubbing ass Alan Roger Currie.
Here we go.
Oh man, it's really good to get here.
Hey, I gotta give you a quick warning, man. I'm getting over a cold, so if you hear me coughing at times, that's what I had a cold the last few days.
Okay. And we'll give you some. Now here's the thing. Now I want to today we're having a topic which is who is more manipulative, men or women. This is a topic that you have suggested, and we're going to basically talk about that. But before that, I just want to talk about this because the Negromanosphere has been up almost a year and a half, and then almost about 5 or 6 months into it, me and you had a conversation. I was trying to get you over to YouTube, and now 1 week from today, you would have been on YouTube for a full year. What do you like or love about being on YouTube, and what do you hate about being on YouTube?
Okay, well, yeah, well, number one, I will publicly give you your kudos. Now, there was a few people over the years who had casually suggested that I make my presence known on YouTube, but there was no one person who really just lit a fire under my butt to get on YouTube more than Oshay Duke Jackson. He was, from the time I connected with, I think we connected in late November, early December of 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say within a month after that, Oshay was like, man, Alan, man, you need to come to YouTube, man. You need to come to YouTube. And the first 10 times he said that, I brushed him off. I was like, yeah, whatever. He's like, no, man, you really need to come to YouTube. And one of his selling points was, he said, well, two things. He said, number one, he said, Alan, you're known outside of YouTube, which is all the more reason for you to come to YouTube. He said, a lot of guys on YouTube, they're only known within YouTube. But he said, you already got a name for yourself. So you'll be able to you won't have to build an audience. You'll be able to just bring the audience you already have, which made me go, that's a thought. And then the second thing he said, you're a content creator. You don't have to borrow other people's talking points because you got so much content in your books that you could just use your books to provide you with your talking points. And that was the second thing that made me say, So sure enough, I made the decision. And my first video podcast I did was on April 5th of last year, 2017. It was actually a failed attempt at a live stream. I tried to do a live stream, my very first video podcast, and the video was horrible. The audio was decent, but the video was just horrible. But anyway, yeah, so a week from today will mark 1 year. Now to answer your questions, I'll start with what I dislike. And I'll give you credit for this. You warned me. You said, I'm going to keep it real with Oshay. So this is what Oshay told me. And for all you non-Black people listening, you're just going to have to deal with some of our Black language and Black slang. But basically, man, Oshay was like, man, Alan, I'm going to tell you straight up. When you come to YouTube, you probably going to get drawn into a lot of nigga shit. You're going to get drawn into a lot of nigga shit. There's a lot of drama that goes on YouTube. I don't know if you dealt with that on Blog Talk Radio, which I didn't. And he said there's a lot of nigga shit.
Oh, yeah.
And he wasn't never lying. He wasn't never lying, because I'm going to tell you people listening, I was on Blog Talk Radio doing audio-only podcasts for 9 years. From June of 2007 to June of 2016. In those 9 years, I don't think I dealt with 1/10 of the drama, bullshit, and again, what Oshay called nigga shit that I have in just 1 year on YouTube. So that's been the only really downside, I would say, of being on YouTube, is that people are always trying to start beefs with you, these back and forth, jabs and that type of shit. And again, on Blog Talk Radio, I never dealt with that shit. What I like about it, YouTube is a great platform. It has a wide reach. I would say it has a wider reach than Blog Talk Radio. And it gave a lot of my Blog Talk Radio fans who just listened to my voice for 9 years, it gave them the opportunity to see my face, to put a face with the words, and to watch my facial expressions, and also the final thing, because of Patreon, it makes it financially worthwhile for me to be on YouTube.
Yeah. So like that Patreon, man, y'all Negroes, go ahead and sign up to Alan Roger Currie's Patreon, get some of that game. Let's talk to you about that. Now, you do have about 180 Patreon subscribers, and almost $2,000 a month on Patreon. Are you happy about the amount of support you receive from your Patreon subscribers over your growth over the last year?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's grown. Yeah, I had never heard of Patreon until, you're going to be shocked when I say this person's name, but as you know, before we fell out, me and Obsidian used to be cool.
Right.
And I used to actually support his show through Patreon. That's when I first heard of Patreon, because he would always ask, his listeners and followers to support him through his Patreon. And I was actually supporting his for about 6 months. And then, of course, we fell out. So then, I started my Patreon page, I think in mid-April of last year. And I think I only had like 7 supporters that first month. For the first 2 months, I didn't take it serious. From like mid-April until about mid-June, I really didn't take Patreon serious. I kind of like ignored it, even though I was still accumulating a few subscribers here and there, but I didn't really take it serious. I didn't start taking it serious until about mid-June, because what happened was a lot of guys started criticizing me. They said, man, Alan, you dropping some heavy-duty game here on YouTube, but the problem is you dropping it for free, man. You need to be making money off that shit, man. Fuck dropping all this knowledge, wisdom, and insight for free, man. You need to have some videos that are just like pay-per-view.
Right.
And So that's starting with around mid-June. That's when I said, okay, I'm gonna have some videos that are exclusively gonna be for my Patreon subscribers, and then other videos I'm gonna leave for free. And that's when my Patreon subscribers, the numbers just start going up. Once I start creating Patreon exclusive videos, then yeah, my Patreon subscriber numbers went up every month. And this right now is actually my highest I've ever had, which is, as of today, I think I have 180. My previous high was 169.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, man, it's different, man. I don't think I have to tell you, speaking of the drama you talked about, see, like when I do Patreon exclusive videos, man, I don't have any drama, man. I don't have no bullshit I deal with. I don't have no drama. It's just strictly I give advice to my Patreon subscribers. They soak up my knowledge, wisdom, insight, and advice, and everything's good. But when I do my free videos, that's what attracts all the drama and bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's true. It's always the niggas that, you know, that is true. So let me kind of get into this. Let's talk a little bit more about, I mean, because we were talking a little bit earlier on the phone. And you guys know, you know, me and Alan Roger Currie, we do talk on the phone from time to time. And it's typically because Alan can talk, right? So, you know, as you can see, Alan likes to talk. So we call Alan Roger Currie, you're going to be on the phone for at least 30 minutes. And we were talking about, certain aspects of manipulation. So let's talk about this topic. Who is more manipulative, men or women? Why did you particularly decide this topic for this particular show?
Because, well, a combination to that. Well, the simple answer would be my recent videos.
Okay.
I had some recent videos. Now, I hate to do this to you, Oshay, but I'm, you know, since we talked about drama, the underlying theme, I'm gonna bring up a little bit of back and forth drama.
Okay.
There's a YouTuber that has, to his credit, he has rose in popularity on YouTube, who goes by the name Alpha Male Strategies.
Okay.
Now, Alpha Male Strategies is interesting. I first became familiar with him because he used to be in my comment section a lot last year.
Mm-hmm.
I used to always see him in my comment section. I would say a lot of stuff that I said in my videos he would agree with, but he would always have at least a handful of disagreements.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I knew about him, was that I didn't know he, you know, had his own channel or anything. I don't know if he did at the time. I just remember reading his comments in my comment section. Then the next thing that happened, one of my followers wrote me, a lot of my followers will write me if somebody mentions my name. They'll say, hey, Alan, they'll send me an email or a Facebook inbox and they'll say, hey, Alan, this YouTube personality mentioned your name, or this person, you know, talked about you. And so the first time I heard Alpha Male Strategies, other than seeing him in my comments section, was somebody said he was proclaiming himself the best black male dating coach on YouTube. And, you know, that wasn't something that upset me. It actually amused me. I said, okay, this brother feeling himself. He feeling confident. You know, I didn't trip on that. But then the time I did trip on, the first major jab he took at me, soon after that, he did a thing on his own YouTube channel where he said that Mode 1, my approach, the Mode 1 approach, he said Mode 1 approach is bullshit because it emphasizes being straightforwardly honest with women. And he said, I don't believe in that shit. My attitude is, if you got a lot of these hoes to get them in, get the pussy, a lot of these hoes. If you got to mislead them, manipulate them, mislead them and manipulate them, do whatever you need to do to get the pussy from these hoes. You know, fuck that Mode 1 honesty shit. So I don't know if I responded to that immediately.
Let me ask you this quick. No, okay, go ahead. Just without you saying anything, he just took a jab at your book for no reason. Your approach.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And I'm glad you pointed that out, because some of his followers have tried to label me as a hater of alpha male strategies and try to suggest that I'm jealous or envious of him. How could I be jealous of or envious of him if he's the one taking the jab at me?
Mm-hmm.
If you're a hater, you're going to be the first one to take a jab.
Mm-hmm.
That's what haters do. Haters are always going to be the first ones to take a jab. I didn't take a jab at him.
Okay.
He took a jab at me.
Okay.
Again, he said his first jab at me, he said, Mode 1, and more specifically, the idea of being straightforwardly honest with women about your true desires, interests, and intentions. He said that was bullshit. Secondly, his second jab, he said my videos were too long and too boring compared to his. He said his was short and to the point.
Okay. And
then the third thing he said was a lot of my advice was outdated. He said that my dating advice more so was beneficial for men in the 1980s and 1990s, but that a lot of my advice doesn't really apply or is not beneficial to dudes who are struggling in the 21st century. And I challenged him on that. I said, okay, name something specific about my advice that's outdated. Name something. I dare you to. He never responded. His followers never responded. None of his followers was ever able to give me a specific response on what aspect of my dating advice was outdated. And then, so that was that. Then here's where I'm gonna give him some credit. He did at least two positive things. Alpha Male Strategies did at least two positive things on my behalf, and I'll go ahead and be objective and give him credit. First thing he did, after we had our first back and forth, he actually promoted my book, The Beta Male Revolution.
Okay.
The Beta Male Revolution. He in one of his episodes on his channel, he actually encouraged his listeners and followers to purchase my book, The Beta Male Revolution. And I gave him a shout out on one of my videos. I said, hey man, I heard that Alpha Male Strategies actually was endorsing my book, The Beta Male Revolution. I appreciate that. And because I actually had my third best month for sales, audiobook sales, in February. Okay. February was my third best month ever. And in the video where I was thanking my viewers and followers for contributing to my best month, I actually gave Alpha Male Strategies a shout out.
Okay.
So that's one area where I'd say, he did right by me.
Okay. Okay.
The second time he did right by me, he did an interview with Black Ram 313, and Black Ram asked him, he said, Alpha Male Strategies, who would you say was one of your top influences or inspirations for doing what you do now and, for helping you formulate the way you think and the advice you give? And he actually mentioned me. He mentioned two people. He said, I would say my top two influences is Corey Wayne and Alan Roger Currie. He said Corey Wayne and Alan Roger Currie are probably the top two people that I paid the most attention to, and I feel like I've learned a lot from them, and which honestly kind of pleasantly surprised me. I said, okay, first this brother took a jab at me a couple weeks ago, but now he's giving me props. But here's where we kind of had back and forth again, and this was a very long way of answering your question about today's topic. In his interview with Black Ram, again, he started off saying that I was one of his top two influences. And then from there, Black Ram asked him, he said, okay, the reason you're on the show today, because you want to give us your top 10 game commandments. He said, Alpha Male Strategies is going to drop his top 10 game commandments. So I said, let me listen to this and see what he got to say. Man, I would say roughly 8 of his 10 commandments was shit from my books. And I'm like, wait a minute. How this brother gonna present this shit as if it's from his mind, as if it originated in his mind, when that's my shit? Anybody who's read my book, The Possibility of Sex, and read The Beta Male Revolution, those 2 books, if you either read the ebook version of those or listen to the audiobook version of those, and then listen to Alpha Male Strategies 10, what he called his 10 game commandments, I guarantee you're going to say no less than 7 or 8 of his 10 commandments was lifted right from my books. I give a couple examples.
Okay.
One of the main things he kept emphasizing was he said, fellas, you got to put a lot of value on your non-sexual attention and companionship. Okay. You got to put a lot of value on your you can't let women take advantage of your non-sexual attention and companionship. Man, that's straight out of my books, man. That's straight out of my books.
Just like that?
Huh? Yeah, he said it like that. You can listen for yourself.
Okay.
He kept using the term non-sexual attention and companionship. That's anybody knows I talk about me as
you talk just like that too. That's how you talk.
Attention and companionship.
Yeah, there's nobody who talks like that but you.
Yeah. So I'm listening to that. I'm like, man, that's just straight lifted from my shit. I can't remember. I had written a list. I don't have it in front of me now. Okay. But I had a list of all the things that were included as commandments that were directly from my books. But now, here's what I'm going to bring to our final back and forth. And where he exposed himself, man. Alpha Male Strategy, I did a whole video on this, but so this is going to be repetitive for people who watch my video. Okay. But he exposed the contradiction in his advice giving. He had a major contradiction in his advice giving.
Okay.
In his interview with Black Ram, he was telling men to value their non-sexual attention and companionship.
Okay.
Don't let women, take advantage or exploit them. Again, which is stuff from my own book.
Okay.
But then on the opposite end, he was saying, unlike Alan, who promotes that whole mole one straightforward honesty stuff, he said, I don't believe in that shit. I believe, go out and lie to these hoes. If it means getting the pussy, lie to these hoes. Fuck these hoes to sleep. That's his tagline. Fuck these hoes to sleep, man. Lie to these hoes, get that pussy, man. If you gotta lead these women on to believing that you're gonna be their next boyfriend or their future husband, he said, do that shit. As long as you get the pussy, it don't matter. Now, Oshay, I'm going to ask you, from what you know about my advice and listening to what I just told you, Alpha Male Strategy said, what's the blatant contradiction in that?
Well, the blatant contradiction. Oh, I'm talking like I'm dumb. The contradiction to that is, if you're paying attention to your non-sexual companionship, but you're then lying to women and telling them what they want to hear, then you're putting yourself at a position to be put in the friend zone or be, to basically be her non-sexual companion because you're pretending, right? Instead of just straight off telling her, like, look, no, this is what I want. I want your sexual companionship, and just leaving it alone and let her, either accept or decline. Once you start pretending to be in that, then you're going to fall into her trap, which is, pretty much in the friend zone. You're not going to be where you want to be.
Yep. No, you pretty much summed it up. See, and this is what I exposed in one of my videos. And, again, he got mad and had some kind of response to mine. But fellas, for you guys in the chat room listening, or for guys who might catch this as an archive podcast, I'm going to break it down to you. See, here's the deal, and this is the main reason why I wrote my book, The Possibility of Sex, is to point this out. If you try to use a technique that Alpha Male Strategies endorses, which is lying to women to get them in bed, and more specifically, giving women the misleading impression that you're open to being that woman's long-term boyfriend, the first thing a woman's going to do is make you prove to her that you value her non-sexual companionship.
Stop right there.
That's the first thing.
We're going to get into that real quick. Let me just do this one thing. I want to give some shout outs to some brothers on the super chat that have been hitting us up here. And but before we get into it, because you just made a great point. My man, BP Thomas Trucking, $50, not 50, 50, because FIDDY, we here in the Black Manosphere. women are definitely more manipulative, but that's only because simps give them control. And then Harry Mingle, hello, Oshay, $50. Thank you again, brother. Nigga with a Buick, black men driving a Buick is more manipulative. That nigga always hit something stupid. And my man JJ Redwood, and then Jay Lerver. I didn't want to forget you guys. Thank you, brothers. I really appreciate you guys. Alan, say what you said just now again, just for these people to hear that last part.
Okay, I'm gonna say this again real quick. Edward Anderson, I'm gonna touch on something he said in the chat room in a few seconds. He said something that's really valid. Edward Anderson, so I'm giving you props, Edward Anderson. But here's the deal. Here's what I'm gonna repeat. Let's say you're a man and you meet a woman named Linda. Okay, you met an attractive woman named Linda. And let's say all you want to do is have casual sex with Linda. You don't really want to be her boyfriend. You just want to have casual sex with her. But let's say you as a man, you listen to some of my podcasts, and then let's say you listen to some of Alpha Male Strategies podcasts.
Okay.
And when you listen to me, I'm telling you to be just straight up and tell her straight up that all you want is a casual sex relationship. But Alpha Male Strategies tells you to go ahead and lie to that Linda and give her the misleading impression that you open to being her long-term boyfriend.
Right.
I'm going to tell you this right now. The first thing Linda's going to do if you choose Alpha Male Strategies advice, she's not going to give you the pussy immediately. Mm-hmm. Even if she's attracted to you, she's not going to give you the pussy immediately. Mm-hmm. If any woman wants you to be her long-term boyfriend, the first thing that woman is going to do is make you prove to her that you value her non-sexual companionship. So she's going to want you to hang out with her without sex being involved. She's going to want to talk on the phone with you a lot. Mm-hmm. You know, she's going to want to go to the movies, go to concerts, walk in the park, holding hands. She's going to suggest a whole bunch of activities that does not involve sex so that you can prove to her that you value her non-sexual companionship just as much, if not more, than her sexual companionship. And as Oshay already alluded to, what that does, if you go into that sets you up as a man to be played. That sets you up to be played. Because if the woman is manipulative herself, let's say you go out on 5 dates with this woman, spend like an average of $25 or more per date. And you spend all this time talking on the phone with this woman, I say over a course of 2 or 3 weeks. And let's say this woman's a manipulator. At the end of those 5 dates and those 2 to 3 weeks, this woman can simply say, hey, you know what, Frank? I enjoyed you going out on those 5 dates with you, and I enjoyed all the hours we spent talking to each other on the phone and going to the park and holding hands. But I've decided that I'm really not interested in having sex with you. I just want you to be a platonic friend. So I hope you're cool with that. See, you're going to feel pissed off. You're going to be like, damn, that bitch played me. No, you played yourself because you tried to pretend like you had a genuine interest in that woman's non-sexual companionship when you know deep down you really just wanted her sexual companionship.
Let me ask you this real quick, and before we do that, guys, I know this. Typically, I haven't been on this channel in a minute, but I will be on this channel and my new channel more. So some of the guys who were moderators on the other channel were not moderators on this channel, but don't worry, I'll put you moderator on this channel also. Here's what I want to ask you, Alan. What if Alpha Male Strategies or anybody in this particular mindset, what if they're saying, okay, pay attention to her non-sexual companionship? And then what I'm going to do is, okay, if this is a woman that I'm attracted to, I'm going to, with this woman, pretend maybe like, okay, it's, I'm going to pretend to be like, not necessarily her friend, but I'll be cordial. And maybe she'll come over and kick it with me one day or something like that. Then I'll try to make a move on her. And then if it doesn't work, then I won't fuck with her at all. So, I'm going to pay attention to that non-sexual companionship, but maybe I I can change her, or maybe she'll outgrow on her, because a lot of guys can say like, hey, this woman I was, maybe she wasn't showing me any signs, but like later on, for whatever reason, I caught her at the right time. Because sometimes they say, women, it's all about timing. Maybe I caught her at a bad time. Maybe if, I sent her a few text messages, it might be the right time at that time. Then I can get her and do my thing with her and, make her believe something else. What would you say to a guy like that?
Oh, I mean, it's always possible. Like one thing I said on my channel, when I was addressing this issue, I said flat out, I said, I would never say that lying to women, misleading women, and manipulating women is totally ineffective, because that would be a lie. Because here's another thing I'd have to say to Alpha Male Strategies. He acts like this advice is something new, like it's more relevant for guys in the 21st century than it was in guys in the 20th century. Man, when I was like a teenager, and I'm 55 years old, when I was a teenager in my 20s, guys was running that type of game on women. Like, I hate to throw some of my frat brothers under the bus, but as you know, I'm in a fraternity. As matter of fact, guys who've been on your guests are in my fraternity. Kevin Samuels is in my fraternity.
Okay.
What's your boy who does Search for You? Who?
Diane Tamir.
Yeah, he's in my fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi. So that's one of the 9 Black Greek organizations. But anyway, a lot of my fraternity brothers in college, man, that was the main technique a lot of them used to use. Matter of fact, that's how Mode 1 got started. It's because I was in a room with some sorority women. Mm-hmm. These women who were AKAs, another Black Greek organization, Alpha Kappa Alpha. And they were complaining to me about that very thing. Mm-hmm. They said, Alan, how come so many men lie to women and make them think that they want to be their boyfriend when they really just want to get some pussy? And I said, oh, that's simple. They want casual sex, but they don't have the balls to say that straightforwardly because they're afraid of being rejected. And the women were like, well, how they know we ain't interested in casual sex? And I was kind of like, They was like, they was basically like, us women, we have men we're interested in having casual sex with. But one thing they said that I remember, they said, we know the type of men that we just want to fuck to be fucking. That was an important comment. They said, we know the men who we want to fuck just to be fucking. In other words, they were saying that if we look at a guy as boyfriend material, then we don't want to have casual sex with that guy. We don't want to have casual. It's just like men. I mean, Oshay, you wouldn't be able to argue that. Most men, we look at some women as just fuck buddy material. Okay. Then we look at other women as, we call them, girlfriend material or possibly wife material. Now, sometimes a woman could be in both categories, but the vast majority of the time, usually a man either has a woman in the fuck buddy category or he got her in the girlfriend category. Okay. And that's what these women were basically saying on the female side. It was like, we know the guys we want to fuck just to be fucking.
Okay. Let me ask this real quick. Let me shout out to people. Desiree Jones, 1989. That's a female. Okay. Supporting over here. Thank you so much. Marcus Allen, what's good? ARC and Oshay Mode 1. Thank you, brother, for your support. Thank all you brothers, right? Now, I know we got Alan Roger Currie over here, and typically we do some sort of, at the end, he might do some sort of a giveaway. I'm going to try to see if I can bribe him with some of this PayPal money that I stole from these midgets. So, guys, I want to tell you thank you for coming over and watching the show so far. Quentin Maldonado, thank you, brother, 49 Super Chat. Love you, brothers. Thank you so much for your support on here. Now, everybody that I'm making a moderator right now may not have been a moderator on this channel because I haven't used it in a long time, but we're back over here just for today. So let me do that. Now, Alan, let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Okay. You said that men decipher, oh, she's fucking material or girlfriend material. And men do the same, women do the same thing. Now, in your opinion, what qualities make a woman fucking material or girlfriend material, right? Those two categories for men. And what makes it different for women? What are women looking for that makes a guy just fuck material or husband material? And so for both sexes, if you could differentiate between both categories for men and for women, so that way we can kind of get a better understanding.
Okay, that's a good question. I'll start with the men. The man is pretty simplistic. If a man, number one, is only really attracted to a woman because she's, got a good looking face, a good looking body, he thinks he'll enjoy himself in bed with that woman. But at the same time, he feels like, man, that woman is either going to bore me or irritate the shit out of me if I was to spend a significant amount of time with her non-sexually. Then that's when he's going to look at her as fuck buddy material. I mean, and I know I'll speak for myself. There's a lot of women, quite frankly, who've fallen into that category for me. There's a lot of women that I enjoy fucking them. I enjoy exchanging orgasms with them.
Okay.
But when it comes to being around them for any significant amount of time non-sexually, again, they either bore me to death or they irritate me to death.
Okay.
To the point where I'm like, no, I don't want to spend no time with them non-sexually. Mm-hmm. So that's when I relegate them to fuck buddy status. Okay. The second thing I would add on to that for a lot of men, you're more judgmental men. A lot of men, as soon as they feel like they know that a woman has what's known as a promiscuous past, they automatically outrule that woman as girlfriend material. They're like, oh no, she done had too many dicks in her pussy. Ain't no way she could be my girlfriend. Fuck that. Fuck that. No. Which is something, honestly, I criticize in my book, Who Said Again, I criticize men who are highly judgmental, but the reality is a lot of men are. Dr. Sigmund Freud talked about that when he talked about his concept of the Madonna horror complex. So that's another thing that will make men relegate a woman to just fuck buddy. They like, oh no, she had too many dicks in her mouth and in her pussy to be my girlfriend. So on the opposite end, you could say the women that most men will look at as long-term romantic companion material is usually a woman that provides them with enjoyable, highly enjoyable, non-sexual companionship.
Okay.
Women that they enjoy being seen with in public. That's kind of like,
this is important. Okay.
Kind of like a nice trophy on their arm, for lack of a better term.
Trophy.
A woman who they think can potentially be a good mother to their children.
Okay.
And just who they feel will generally just compliment them, compliment their goals, their lifestyle, and that type of thing.
Let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. This particular situation. So guy is looking for the trophy on the arm, good mother to their children, compliment their goals, right? This is something more long-term. Mm-hmm. Now, in comparisons between the two entities that we're talking about, are men motivated, in your opinion, to lie to get the fuck buddy or the long-term trophy on the arm, the long-term good mother, the long-term person that's complimenting our goals? Which one of these, if alpha male strategy is saying you should lie to women, what for a man, which one or do you feel that they're more likelier to lie about, and why?
Oh, easily the fuck buddy. Easily.
Why is that?
Because the average man is going to meet way more women that they just want to fuck than they're going to meet women that they want to seriously date or possibly marry. Okay. So just on pure numbers alone, the average man, I would say for every one woman that a man meets that he might want as a girlfriend or a future wife, he's going to meet at least 15 to 20 women that he's just going to want to fuck.
Okay.
But most men tend to feel like most women are going to have a negative reaction to you telling them straightforwardly that all you want to do is engage in casual sex with them. So that's why most men are tempted to lie. Because they like, their attitude is most women aren't going to go for straightforward honesty. They don't believe straightforward honesty will work.
Okay.
But I've personally proven that wrong.
Let me ask you a question for a guy like, like Alpha Male Strategies or anybody else who feels this way. Why do you guys think I mean, why do you think somebody like him feels like you should lie to women? What do you think is his reasoning for it?
Oh, I just told you. It's simple. The only reason why a man is going to lie to a woman who he wants as a fuck buddy is because he feels like if you straightforwardly tell a woman essentially that all you're interested in is her sexual companionship, but you really have no interest in her non-sexual companionship, most men feel like the average woman, and particularly an attractive woman, a woman who's a 7, 8, 9, or 10, is going to be like, oh, hell no. If you ain't interested in spending no time with me non-sexually, then fuck you.
Okay. I was looking. I was looking for this answer. Shout out to LAR Movement. I was going to say is, does this guy actually feel like I don't have enough game? I don't have enough charisma. There's something about me that's not enough to just tell this woman, hey, I don't want to be with you, but I still want to fuck you. And they're not going to go for it. Is it a self-confidence issue is what I'm asking.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, this relates to your question.
Okay.
Let me answer your original question, and then I'll come back to this. Because you asked me for why men put women in either the girlfriend / future wife category or just the fuck buddy category.
Okay.
And then you also asked me what makes women put men in one of those two categories. When a woman wants, obviously you've read a lot of my articles, you listened to some of my videos. I always use this delineation between alpha males and beta males. Some guys get tired of that delineation, but hey, so what? Here's the deal with women. In the same way I would say a lot of men tend to conveniently put women into either good girls or sluts. You could say women's equivalent to that is alpha male versus beta males. Really, I say in my book, The Beta Male Revolution, there's technically 3 categories of men that women put men into. And that would be either total alpha, a blend of alpha and beta, which is probably most men, and then total beta. And I actually have 2 subcategories in the blend category. Okay. And here's where I'll explain how women look at guys. So basically, here's the categories I have in my book, The Beta Male Revolution. Total alpha male with beta traits, beta male with alpha traits, and a total beta male. And I'm going to tell you, based on my experience with women, how women look at each one. A total alpha male in the eyes of a woman is how we as men would look at a woman who's just a highly desirable, kinky slut, but we wouldn't even think twice about marrying them or dating them seriously. Mm-hmm. That's how women look at a total alpha male. Total alpha male is that guy that a woman might be at the club with and be like, oh shit, I will suck his dick right now. I will let him fuck me. But if that guy was even remotely suggest, being their long-term boyfriend or husband, they would be like, oh, hell no. No, nigga, you don't make enough money for me. Mm-hmm. You irresponsible. You didn't finish high school. You can't talk. They're basically like a total alpha male type of guy that a woman don't really want to spend time with non-sexually, just like a man. With most women who are kinky sluts, we don't want to spend time with them non-sexually, but we'll fuck the shit out of them. That's how women look at a total alpha male. So that's the guy that a woman's going to be like, I will have casual sex with that motherfucker, but as far as anything serious, he's out of the question. Next category up would be the alpha male with a few beta traits. I would say that's the one, the archetype that I always argue is probably arguably the most ideal for the man. Okay. Because you're going to attract women who are going to be interested in being in a long-term relationship with you. Mm-hmm. And you're going to attract some women who are going to offer to be your side piece. Mm-hmm. If you're unmarried, or if you're married, your mistress. Mm-hmm. And even if they know you got a wife or girlfriend, they'll be like, I'm available for you. And also, that's a man that women are willing to follow his lead. They're willing to submit to that guy. They're willing to allow him to control the relationship. So, in real simple terms, an alpha male with beta traits is a guy that a woman, once she believes he's going to be enjoyable and satisfying in bed, just like a total alpha male, but she also believes that he has a lot to offer non-sexually. He will be enjoyable to be around non-sexually and to raise children with and to get pregnant by. So that's your alpha male with beta traits.
Okay.
Next category is what I call the beta male with a few alpha traits.
Okay.
The beta male with a few alpha traits.
Okay.
Here's the MO on this guy. This is a guy that most women, when they first meet him, honestly are going to say to themselves, I'm not really that physically attracted to this guy. I'm not really that sexually attracted to this guy. But this motherfucker owns his own home on the beach. He got $1 million 401k plan.
Right.
He's not cheap or stingy. He's generous with his money and his material possessions. I'm going to marry this motherfucker. I might have to either cheat on him or masturbate in order to get myself off. But this motherfucker got it going on so well career-wise and financially and in terms of social status that I just can't let him go. Or even if she is not interested in getting in a serious relationship with him or marrying him, she might want this type of guy for a sugar daddy, sugar baby relationship.
Okay.
That's why you have a lot of sugar daddy, sugar baby relationships. Usually a guy who's a sugar daddy is a man that a woman is not really crazy about having sex with him. At best, her interest is average. A lot of times it's less than average. Okay. But he got that paper.
Right.
And for a lot of women, money talks, bullshit walks.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah, his main appeal to women, the beta male with alpha traits, again, is his wealth, his financial generosity. Oh, and one more thing is his willingness to, at least at times, allow the woman to call the shots in the relationship. Typically, if a woman's in a relationship with a beta male with alpha traits, she's going to dictate the relationship at least half the time, if not 90% of the time. She's going to be the one, quote unquote, wearing the pants. Now, the worst of the four is the total beta male. If a woman looks at you as a total beta male, what that means is she don't really want your companionship sexually or non-sexually. Sexually, she definitely don't want it. Ain't nothing about you that is even remotely appealing to her sexually. She would rather masturbate than have sex with you if you're a total beta male.
I remember that guy. I remember that from the video.
If a woman looks at you as total beta, that's the woman that a woman's like, no, I'd rather just rub one out than fuck that motherfucker. And again, even non-sexually, she's only gonna hang around him maybe occasionally. Okay. But non-sexually, he bores her to death. One of the weaknesses of total beta males, they acquiesce to women too much. They play up to women too much.
Okay.
That'd be a guy that be like, oh, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, you're like a goddess. Oh my God, I just feel honored to be around you. You're just so beautiful. Oh my God. Woman only needs to be around a motherfucker like that for an ego boost. Other than that, she has no need for a total beta male. And what I argue in my book, The Beta Male Revolution, that's your most frustrated guy in today's society out of the four. Your total beta males, particularly after they became red pill aware, they're now pissed.
Right. Red pill rape.
They want to start some shit. They want to start some shit. As that line from The Dark Knight where Alfred said, there's some men who just want to see the world burn. That's a lot of your total beta males.
Let me just do this real quick. I gotta shout some people out, man. For those people who are coming in the super chat, again, Doug. This is what Doug said. Can we get an ARC versus AMS debate? That would be very interesting. I really don't know.
Man, he don't want to debate me. Alpha male strategists don't want to debate me.
Would that be something you'd be open to on
Yeah, well,
moderator?
if there was at least one or two rules, I would be.
Okay.
If because see, in his last thing where he mentioned me on his channel,
okay,
he tried to attack me on a personal level. It was lighthearted. He actually made me laugh. I give him some credit. He made me laugh. He took a jab at me. They were both lighthearted jabs. They wasn't too serious.
Right.
One jab, he said,
he's not malicious or anything.
He said, man, I want y'all to start a GoFundMe for Alan Roger Currie for a dialysis machine because he's having kidney problems. Which I did admit on my channel. My doctor's been monitoring my kidney health. Okay. So I felt like that was a fair game jab.
Okay.
Another jab, he told me to quit wearing so many hats because I'm covering up my nappy hair. And I was like, I ain't got no nappy hair. What the fuck you talking about?
You talking about that light skin shit?
I would debate him if we were to outrule just any type of real serious personal jabs.
Yeah.
I don't get into, I'll borrow BGS. I've heard him use this term, mudslinging. Okay. I ain't into all that personal mudslinging shit, man. But if he wanted to debate me strictly on the ins and outs of giving men dating advice and being a dating coach and that type of thing, yeah, I would debate big time.
All right. So AMS, I've talked to him before offline and something like that. Something he's willing to do. I can moderate it, don't matter where. Like I said, he's not a malicious guy or anything. He's not a malicious guy. He's he don't be like over talking people or nothing like that. I think it'd be friendly. So shout out to him. Let me just do a few shout outs. Doug is the reason why I got into all that trouble on my other channel with people calling me a coon for having ABL and new possibilities on. So Doug is part to blame for that. Shout out to Doug. Let me go ahead and shout out some other brothers again. Quentin Maldonado out of Colorado. Falcon Black, Happy Easter, Fam Lamb out of the UK, 2 British pounds. CG3, Charles Gilmore, Super Troll #1, who never trolls but trolls, is in the building to troll. LMAO, Mode 1, rubs ball in the face and insert dog face here. Dan the Mentor, Alan dropping jewels. Now, before we get back on to the stuff, Alan, I just want to say, we do have the Negromanosphere Awards. And just give me one moment, Alan, and we'll get back to it. The Negromanosphere Awards poll is up. Now, I can't put it on the link in the chat because YouTube keeps blocking it. But let me just give you guys basically the categories. We have the best sports channel, best African writer of the year, best travel channel, best newcomer of the year. By the way, now Alpha Male Strategies was added to that forum late, but he has 18 votes. Most improved YouTuber of the year. Right now, that's LAR Movement. BGS is a little close behind. Most versatile YouTuber. Best troll, Bobby MGTOW. No, Alabama. Alabama is winning right now. Best dating advice YouTuber. Alan Roger Currie is winning right now. Donovan Sharp's really close behind him. Let's see. But the two biggest awards, the Charles Tyler Award, will go to 2 categories. Best Black YouTuber of the year. Currently, right now, Donovan Sharp's winning that category. And the Negromanosphere Writer of the Year. That's going to right now, Alan Roger Currie is winning that category. So those people that want to vote for these categories, go into the description and vote, okay? And we wanted to do something for the brothers, right? And you guys have supported us through the Patreon, through the channels, and all of that. Hold on a second. If you want a shout out, brother, you know what you got to do. Super chat for shout outs, player. So, you guys have supported us. We have the forum. So, go ahead and the 2 big categories are the Writer of the Year and the Black YouTuber of the Year. Those will get big trophies and stuff like that. So, right now, Alan Roger Currie is winning that award. And we'll have the voting poll up for at least another 2 weeks. So, and then we're going to also do the moderators. The moderators will have their own thing next month or probably the month after that. So we're going to do something specifically for the moderators. All right. Just wanted to say that. Now let me kind of get back to the
Hey, Oshay, before you go on,
sure.
There was a brother in your chat room who I've seen a few times before. His name is Edward Anderson.
Yes.
And he said something about Alpha Male Strategies that I have to agree with. And I know Alpha Male Strategies followers are going, take offense to it. But in the world of writing, like in Hollywood, I pursued a career as a screenwriter. There's a term known as a hack. I don't know if you've ever heard that term before.
I've heard of it, but I don't necessarily know what it means.
For your listeners, a hack, particularly, it mainly relates to people who are writers, but it can relate to other areas too. A hack is someone who's basically unoriginal.
Okay.
What they do is, like, if you say, for example, you were a screenwriter. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example of someone who's been accused of this before in the world of screenwriting. Tyler Perry.
Okay.
When Tyler Perry first came out, he had some of his critics that accused him of being a hack.
Okay.
And again, what a hack is when you basically bite off of, say, 5 other screenwriters' styles, and then you kind of blend all the people you bit off of, you kind of blend it together, and then you present it as if it's your own style.
Okay.
That would be a hack.
Okay.
And Edward Anderson, he basically said his number one criticism of AMS is that he's a hack. And I can't really disagree with that, man. Because, again, I already mentioned, man, he borrowed a lot of my talking points from The Possibility of Sex and the Beta Male Revolution. From what I've heard, he's borrowed stuff from Lucario. I want to say he's borrowed stuff, I think, from Ron Wills, although I'm not 100% sure of that. And see, this is one of the reasons why I've said on my channel a couple times, man, I don't really respect dating people who call themselves dating coaches or relationship experts if they don't have at least one book. If you don't have at least one book of your own, I don't really respect you. And one of the reasons why I feel that way is related to what Edward said. It's too easy to just steal other people's shit. See, when you write a book, now you're an educated man, Oshay, and even though you're not pursuing a PhD, you're pursuing a medical degree, but you know about PhDs. When you're at a university and you're pursuing a PhD, one of the things you have to do for most subjects, there's a rare exceptions for this subject here, this subject there, but for most subjects at most universities, in order to get your PhD, you have to submit what's called your dissertation.
Sure.
That's the final thing you have to do before you get your PhD. So if you're pursuing a PhD in psychology or a PhD in sociology, you have to submit what's known as a dissertation. What's the purpose of a dissertation? The purpose of, there's mainly 2 general objectives of the dissertation. Number 1, if I'm pursuing a PhD in psychology, I have to prove to a board of trustees at that university that basically I know my shit.
Right.
Because, like, say my alma mater is Indiana University.
Sure.
So if I'm pursuing a PhD in psychology at Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana University wouldn't want Alan Roger Currie going out in the world saying he got a PhD in psychology from Indiana University, and then I just start talking out my ass, saying a bunch of crazy bullshit. People would be like, what the fuck? He don't know shit about psychology. Where did he get his PhD from? That would make the university look bad. So their way of preventing that is, in my dissertation, I'm gonna have to prove that I know the subject of psychology backwards and forwards.
Right.
That basically that I won't go out in the world and just start talking out my ass. The second objective of a dissertation is you have to present to the board that you're adding something new to the game. That if you go out and talk about psychology, you're just not going to be repeating shit that other people say. Right. You got to prove that you got some new belief, new theory, new concept, new formula. You gotta add something new to the game.
To the field, yeah.
And I would use that as an analogy for having a book. To me, man, when you're a dating coach or a relationship expert and you got a book, your book should almost be the equivalent of your dissertation. It should show that you know the ins and outs of male psychology versus female psychology as it relates to dating and relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And it should also prove that you bring in something, at least one thing that's unique to the field, that you ain't just borrowing from other people, man. And I don't know anything that Alpha Male Strategies talks about that's like wholly unique. Everything to me he says that I've heard him say is stuff that I done heard 100 motherfuckers say, or at minimum it's shit that I've said millions of times before him.
Okay.
So anyway, I just want to point that out because I saw Edward Anderson referred to him as a hack, and I think that's a fairly valid criticism.
Okay. Let me do this also. Want to give a shout out to the brother who super chatted, Quentin Collier. Thank you, brother, for the super chat of $2. I really appreciate all of you that are subscribing here. Let's go and get the likes up. Now, I do want to say I do have a third YouTube channel that I am building up right now. So Doug is posting the link. So if you want to subscribe to my new YouTube channel, make sure you hit the bell. It's Oshay Duke Jackson 2. All right. And we really appreciate everybody here that's today chilling with us. And let me see. Is it Miggy? That's the real Miggy 101? Let me see. No, that's somebody else. All right, Miggy 101. All right, shout out to you. Now, Alan, let me kind of, let's talk about the women's part. We talked about that already, haven't we?
Yeah, I broke down why women put guys as either fuck buddy or relationship material.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Who do you feel has more manipulation out of the two sexes, and why? Now that we've covered all those other things.
Okay, well that's actually you crack me up, Oshay, man. I want to compare you to Charlie Rose, but I don't want to disparage you now because Charlie Rose got in the hot water with the women, man. So his reputation took a hit. But Charlie Rose asked them simple questions that are simple but yet profound. And so that's a tricky question. Here's what I'll say. You can evaluate it in terms of how frequently one sex tries to manipulate the other sex.
Okay.
And then you can evaluate it in terms of for how many different objectives one gender manipulates the other gender.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start with the second one. Women are more manipulative than men in the sense that women manipulate men for a wide variety of things. And that's why I say in my book that as a group, women are better manipulators than men are.
Okay.
And the simple reason why is that, see, men, I'm just going to keep it real. When men are trying to manipulate women, they only have one thing in mind, and that's some pussy.
That's true.
I mean, it ain't too many men that are going to manipulate women for a job offer or to use their car or to get some money from, although you have a handful of male gold diggers out there. But generally, the main thing men are only going to manipulate women for is sex, and I would say even more specifically, casual sex. Mm-hmm. Women have at least about at minimum 10 to 15 different things that they'll manipulate a man for. They'll manipulate a man to try to get a good job. Mm-hmm. They'll manipulate a man to try to get in a university. Mm-hmm. They'll manipulate a man to pay for their cab fare. They'll manipulate a man to give him a child that he doesn't want to give him. They'll manipulate a man for some groceries. They'll manipulate a man for some clothes. I mean, the list could go on, man. Right. There's a bunch of shit that women will manipulate men for. Mm-hmm. And that's why I wrote my book, The Possibility of Sex, because here's the number one. I'll break down the two main manipulative games on both sides. Two main manipulative games on both sides. I'll start with men. Here are the two general manipulative games that men play with women. Okay. Number one, I'm going to pretend that I value both your sexual and your non-sexual companionship, when in actuality, I really just want your sexual companionship.
Okay.
You know, basically, we already covered that when I was talking about me versus AMS. That's the number one manipulative game that men play with women, is I'm going to give this woman the misleading impression that I want both her sexual and her non-sexual companionship, but ultimately I really just want her sexual companionship.
Okay.
The similar game to that, well, no one, my title for that would be called a lying womanizer, what most women call a dog or a pig. That's a lying womanizer. That's the game you're playing with that one. The second game is what I refer to in a term I've made popular around the world, fun clubbing. You should know from the Negromanosphere, I wrote a couple articles to do with fun clubbing. Here's what fun clubbing is. Okay. It's similar to game number one, but a little different. Fun clubbing is when you pretend for an indefinite period that you're content with being a woman's purely platonic friend.
Okay.
So you meet a woman named Tanya and you're like, and Tanya says, Oshay, you're my buddy, aren't you? You're my good friend. You say, of course, Tanya, I'm your good friend. Of course I'm your friend. But you're at home looking at pictures of her jacking off. You're like, shit, I want to fuck Tanya. God damn, man. I want to fuck Tanya. That big booty she got, oh shit, I want to fuck her. But you never had the guts to tell her you want to either, or you might not just want to fuck her. You might seriously want her as like your long-term girlfriend, but you don't have the courage to tell her. So you resort to fun clubbing again, which is you spend a number of days, weeks, months, might even do years. I've known guys who fun club with women for years, pretending to be that woman's purely platonic male friend. And then at some point, you're gonna make a move. At some point, it could be 6 weeks into the friendship, 6 months. You're gonna say, hey Tanya, can I see you with just your panties on? Oh shit, what are you talking about? You my friend. You're not supposed to be wanting to see me in my panties. Oh, come on, Tanya, let me see in your panties. I think about you all the time in your panties and shit. So those are the two games that men play with women, generally speaking. Again, is the lying womanizer game and the fun clubbing game. Now, the two games that women play.
Okay.
Women, their game is similar, but it is on the opposite side of the coin.
Okay.
The first game women play is, I'm going to also pretend like I want your sexual and your non-sexual companionship, but I really just want your non-sexual companionship.
Let me ask you this real quick. On that, because I know you're probably in the flow, but I got to fuck some things up.
Okay.
How can women, give me some examples of certain things that women will do to pretend like they want your sexual companionship? Because some kind of guy is like, well, she's giving me signals and things like this. So if I'm a guy and I don't know what these signals are, I'm a little bit new to the game. Tell me what kind of things that you feel women will do to pretend to exude that she wants the sexual companionship, but really she wants the non-sexual companionship. What are some of her tactics?
Well, my real simple answer is get my book called The Possibility of Sex.
Okay.
That gives you the real detailed breakdown to answer Oshay's question, but I'll give a more simplified, brief version. And it relates to the title of that book. Okay. See, here's what women do. In the same way you have men, I already mentioned, if you have men that want casual sex from women, but because they're scared of rejection, they turn to lying and exhibiting misleading and manipulative behavior. Well, women do the same thing for non-sexual companionship. See, this is what most women are afraid of. Most women don't want to come out and just say, hey, Oshay, you know what? I ain't interested in sucking your dick at all. I ain't interested in giving you no pussy, but I want you to be my male girlfriend or my play brother. See, that feeling is you're going to be like, oh, hell no.
Right.
If I ain't going to never get you to suck my dick or I ain't going to never get the chance to fuck you, the fuck I'm going to hang out with you at the bowling alley every Friday for and talking to you on the phone for. So Because they know they would get rejected if they just straightforwardly said, all I want is your non-sexual companionship.
Right.
This is what they'll do. Let's use that Tanya woman I talked about.
Okay.
Tanya have you come over the crib.
Right.
And she'll say, hey, Oshay, you don't mind if I change in front of you? And of course, you're like, oh, no, I don't mind. And all of a sudden, she drops her skirt and she got on this thong, and you looking at that nice, soft, juicy ass. And you say, damn, Tanya, you got a nice ass. Oshay, you're not supposed to be looking at me like that. But hey, I'm going to tell you, sometimes when I'm in between relationships, I get like real horny. And who knows, like 2 months from now, 3 months from now, I might let you get some of this, Oshay. You like, for real? Yeah, I might let you hit this. Because I know you want this. You want this pussy, don't you? You want this pussy, don't you? You're like, shit, hell, you know I want that pussy, Ty. She's like, yeah, I know you do. Shit. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go bowling with me every Friday for the next 8 Fridays. And if you're a good boy, on the 9th Friday that you go bowling with me, I might just give you some of this good pussy. And you're like, oh shit, fuck, I'm gonna go out bowling with her every Friday, shit, because I'm gonna get that pussy. She's put in your head that you got a chance.
Right.
That you got a chance. And for most guys, that's all they want. They just want a chance. If they know they got a chance. But see, really seasoned manipulators, they know how to play that. They ain't gonna never say to you, here's the key thing. A woman using this technique, the possibility of sex technique, I call it, they're never gonna say anything definite or guaranteed. Like they're never gonna say, if you go bowling with me 9 weeks in a row, I guarantee you'll be able to fuck me. Or you definitely will be able to fuck me. They'll say, well, let's see, if you go bowling with me 9 weeks in a row, you might, keyword might, you might just get a chance to get this pussy.
Right.
But you're not paying attention to that, Mike, because you're just thinking, damn, I got a chance to get that pussy. And see, here's how it play out. Let's say you go bowling with her 8 weeks in a row, and now it's that wonderful 9th week. And you like put on your cologne and shit. You wear your extra special shirt or sweater and shit. You like, yeah, I'm gonna get that pussy. So you go bowling with her for the 9th Friday in a row, and you go back to a place and you start trying to make a move. You're like, yeah, tiny dude, I've been waiting for this moment for the last 2.5 months to get this pussy. She's like, wait a minute, oh, slow down. What are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, I don't mind you tongue kissing me, but why are you trying to finger fuck me? Well, you said that if I went bowling with you for 9 weeks in a row, no, I never said you definitely get the pussy. I said I might give you some, but right now I'm having second thoughts. I don't know. I think I enjoy you more as you just being my play brother, and I think if you put your dick in my pussy, that it might change the complexion of our friendship, and I don't know. I'm just not. Now, there's at least a 50% chance, and I've heard you go out before. See, you gonna snap. You gonna be like, wait a minute, bitch. You told me, bitch. You told me that if I hung out with you at the bowling alley 9 weeks in a row, I was gonna get that pussy. You fucking playing games right now. You being a bitch right now. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say you was definitely gonna get the pussy, Oshay. I said I might give you the pussy if you went to the bowling alley. I never said you did. No, this is bullshit. I should beat your ass, but I know I go to jail if I beat your ass, but this is some bullshit. Fuck you and your bowling alley, bitch. Fuck you. Do you tell all your boys, yeah, y'all know Tanya Williams? Yeah, she a bitch, man. That bitch cock-teased me to death. Fucking bitch. No. What I point out in the possibility of sex, slow down on your anger on that woman. She didn't play you. You played your motherfucking self.
Uh-oh.
You thought by investing all those bowling alley events on those Friday nights was going to earn you brownie points that you could cash in and get that pussy, but that woman never gave you any guarantee that she was going to give you that ass. And that's how women use the possibility of sex technique. And the second game, just like men have two similar games, but they're a little different. The second game women play is just what I call just straight cock teasing.
Okay.
That's where they'll give a guy the impression that they just want casual sex with him, just like he wants casual sex with her. Mm-hmm. But they'll spend a number of days, weeks. They'll let that guy kiss. Like I interviewed a woman named Crystal on my show called The Erotic Conversationalist.
Okay.
And she openly admitted during our interview, we were talking about stuff related to this. She said, "Oh, I'll tell you straight up, Alan." She said, "I'm a major cock teaser." I said, "Really?" She said, "Oh, yeah." Matter of fact, she was promoting Mole 1 because she said, that's why a guy needs to be Mole 1, be straightforwardly honest about the fact that he just wants some pussy. Because she said, if a guy tries to come with me with that indirect shit, that vague, ambiguous, indirect shit, she said, I'm going to just cock tease him. I'm going to let him tongue kiss me. I'm going to let him squeeze on my titties. I'm going to let him squeeze my ass. You know, I'm going to let him do all that shit. But the minute he tries to put his dick into my mouth or my pussy, I'm going to say, whoa, what you doing? I didn't think you could do that. What the fuck you doing? No.
Oh, shit.
And I said, damn, that's wrong. You knew the guy wanted to fuck you. She said, yeah, I knew the guy wanted to fuck me, but I never told him I was going to give him the pussy. I just wanted attention from him. If he wanted this pussy, he should have straightforwardly said, Crystal, I want that pussy. And I would have told him yes or no. But if he going to try to play games and be vague, ambiguous, and indirect, then I'm going to play the game and I'm going to play it better. And see, that's what I point out in the possibility of sex. Mm-hmm. If you try to play the game, these manipulative head games, now, if you're dealing with a woman that's a combination of young and naive and inexperienced with men, you're probably going to get over on. There's a greater than 50% chance you're going to get over on that chick. Right. And that's why a lot of young women end up calling men dogs and shit. But if you're dealing with a woman that's, say, 23 or older, 24 or older, 25 or older, woman who's had a decent amount of experience with men, if you try to play the game, I guarantee you, fellas, she going to play it 2 to 3 times better.
Right. Right. No, that's absolutely correct. Let me ask you this question, right? Because I had a brother, one of my moderators, shout out to Scream. And again, we are having the Negromanosphere Moderator Awards. Okay, that's going to come. I promise that we're going to do that in May, right? We'll do that in May. This brother wants to know, like, which one of your books, like if I'm trying to learn how to talk to women or how to, get some game with women, which one of your books would you recommend, for somebody, maybe like if I'm trying to learn, how to talk to women or how to deal with women. And basically, shout out to my brother Christopher Duffy for the $10 super chat. I forgot about him real quick. What book would you recommend? If I was just trying to learn how to, basically approach a woman or say certain things. Do you have a book that's catered toward that?
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and just give the brief gist of all 4 of my audiobooks.
Okay.
I'll start with the Beta Male Revolution.
Okay.
The gist of that book is if you want to gain an overall understanding of why the dating scene has evolved to where it is today versus, say, 100 years ago, that's when you need to listen to my audiobook, The Beta Male Revolution, which is also available in ebook version and paperback version. And also, I'll add again that that's the book that Alpha Male Strategies even endorsed on his channel. That book gives you a brief history of how dating used to be, specifically before the 1960s. The main period, I don't want to get too long-winded on the gist of this book, but here's the deal. The main period that changed things and why the dating scene is how it is today is that period between 1960 and 1974. 1960 and 1974. Because see, before the 1960s, just about all dating in the United States centered around finding a wife or finding a husband.
Okay.
If you weren't engaged in premarital sex or casual sex, if you were come from a middle class, upper middle class family, you would be disowned. Right. Literally, your own parents would like disown you. Like they would many times just kick you out the crib. And a lot of women married guys that were not of their own choosing during that period. A lot of times women had their parents pick out their boyfriend or pick out their husband for them. And see, what women said in simple terms, is they got tired of that. They said, I'm tired of my father dictating my love life and sex life. You know, I'm tired of my husband, you know, relying on my husband for a decent quality of living. I have to marry guys I'm really not attracted to. I want to make my own money, and I want to do whatever the fuck I want to do with my own body. And the end result was what's known as the second wave of feminism. And that took place in the 1960s. Then you had the introduction of the birth control. Now women could engage in premarital sex and casual sex without having to worry about an unexpected pregnancy.
Okay.
1974, abortion was legalized. The sexual revolution happened. Anyway, without getting, again, too long-winded, the biggest thing that changed after that period, 1960 to 1974, is now women basically said, I can fuck whoever I want to fuck.
Right.
I ain't got to fuck who my daddy tells me to fuck or whoever else tells me to fuck, who society tells me to fuck. If I want to fuck another woman, I'm going to fuck another woman. I can fuck whoever the way I want to fuck.
Right.
And we've seen the reverberations of that since. So that's the book to pick up if you want kind of what I would call a brief history lesson of how dating and relationships used to be versus why the dating scene is what it is today.
Okay.
Next book, Mode 1. Mode 1 is my book that explains what I call my 4 modes of verbal communication, which is Mode 1, Mode 2, Mode 3, and Mode 4, and the pros and cons of each of those modes. And of course, the main mode out of the 4 that I most heavily endorse is Mode 1 verbal communication style, which means you're upfront and straightforwardly honest with women about why you really want to share their company.
Okay.
And then from there, once you read Mode 1 or listen to the audiobook, you're going to realize that every woman you interact with is going to fall into one of 4 archetypes.
Okay.
One of 4 archetypes. And that's going to be a reciprocator,
okay,
a rejector, a wholesome pretender / erotic hypocrite, or a manipulative time waster.
Okay.
The 2 that are the most self-explanatory are the reciprocator and rejector. If Oshay approaches Laura and says, hey, Laura, I think you're attractive and sexy, and honestly, I want to hook up with you. I want to bump uglies with you. And she says, okay, Oshay, I'm down. I'm down. That's a reciprocator. She doesn't give him any resistance. She doesn't express any reluctance. She knows from the get-go she's down.
Okay.
If Oshay approaches Taffany and says the same thing, and Taffany says, no, Oshay, I'm sorry. I don't want to hook up with you. You're not my type, and I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want you wasting my time. That's a rejector. So those 2 are fairly easy to do. The 2 trickier archetypes, the wholesome pretender / erotic hypocrite. What is that? A wholesome pretender is a woman that if you approach her and you let her know you want to have relationship sex with her, then that's when she's going to pretty much become a reciprocator, because that's what she wants. But let's say that same woman, let's say her name is, I don't know, Oshay approached a woman named Angela. And instead of telling Angela he wants a relationship, he says, Angela, I just want to casually kick it with you for the next 3 or 4 months. That's when her wholesome pretender side is going to come out. Basically, she's going to be like, Oshay, well, I'm sorry, I'm not that kind of girl. I'm a respectable, good girl, and I don't jump in bed with men who are not my boyfriend. So if you don't have any intentions of being my boyfriend, then I don't think we can do anything. Is she not just flat out not interested in Oshay? No, she's attracted to him, but she prefers to have boyfriend, girlfriend relationship sex with him. So if he wants to talk her into having casual sex, he got to up his verbal game, what I call his verbal game. And that's where my audiobook, Ooh Say It Again, comes into play. Ooh Say It Again helps you strengthen your verbal game so you can seduce the wholesome pretenders and erotic hypocrites into engaging in casual sex with you as opposed to their preference for long-term relationship sex. And an erotic hypocrite, what that is simply a more pretentious, materialistic, and antagonistic version of a wholesome pretender. Erotic hypocrites, they're going to give you the most hell. So, like, say you approach a woman named Brenda, and she was an erotic hypocrite, and you say, "Yeah, Brenda, I think you're attractive and sexy, and you know, I want us to be fuck buddies for the next 2 to 3 months." She's gonna be like, "Nigga, what? What you say to me? What? You better get some manners, boy. I don't know how your parents raised you, but I ain't no hoe. I ain't no slut. I ain't no two-bit slut off the street. You better come to me correct. You better come to me with some manners. You better act like a gentleman. I ain't no fucking slut. I ain't no porno star. I don't just jump in bed with a motherfucker. You better not talk to me that way." And see what she's really doing. She's testing your backbone. Because see, if you back down and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, Brenda. I meant to be a classy gentleman. I read this guy, Alan Roger Currie's book, and he told me to say some straightforward shit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk to you that way." You might think you're doing the right thing by apologizing, but in her mind, she's right now, Brenda's saying, "Oh, he's a beta male. He ain't got no backbone. I broke him down just like that by criticizing him and insulting him. He backed down like a punk." But if you look at Brenda dead in her eyes and be like, "Yeah, I said what I said. I said I wanted to fuck you, Brenda. And you know you want some of this Oshay dick in that pussy. I dare you to tell me you don't want some of this Oshay dick. Because if you don't, why the fuck you still standing here listening to me talk? How come you ain't walked away yet?" "Well, with my friends, I was waiting for them." "Oh, shut up, bitch. You ain't waiting for your friends to come back. You standing here listening to me talk because you want some of this dick. If you don't want none of this dick, then walk away then. I dare you to. I dare you to walk away." "Well, I don't really want to walk away. You say I want some O'Shea's dick." "Oh, O'Shea, what are you making me say? Bitch, say you want some of this dick." Right there, you just broke down that erotic hypocrite. How did you bring it down? You challenged her. Because here's how a free tip, how you identify a woman like erotic hypocrite. You look for what's known, what I refer to as incongruent behavior. Wholesome pretenders and erotic hypocrites exhibit incongruent behavior. What does that mean? If somebody's exhibiting congruent behavior, that means their actions, facial expressions, overall body language is going to support their words. So if their words say "I'm interested," everything about their body language says "I'm interested." If they say "I'm not interested," everything about their body language says "I'm not interested." That's congruent behavior. Incongruent behavior is when a woman's words are saying yes, but her body language is saying no, or vice versa. Her words are saying "No, I'm not interested," but her body language is saying "Yeah, I probably am interested." And in that example I just used with you, the incongruency was she was criticizing you and insulting you, but why the fuck is she still talking to you? Why is she listening to you? How come she ain't ended the conversation and walked the fuck away? That's how I break down erotic hypocrites. One simple thing I do is I simply say, "Okay, if you ain't interested in me fucking you, how come you still standing here? How come you still sitting here listening to me talk about putting my dick in your fucking mouth? Huh? How come you ain't got up from this seat and walked away? I'm talking about putting my fucking hard ass dick in your mouth, bitch." Matter of fact, listen to a couple of my verbal seduction stories. I have 6 verbal seduction stories in my audiobook, Ooh, Say It Again. And at least 2 of the 6 stories center around interactions with an erotic hypocrite. Like verbal seduction story number 1, the woman was basically an erotic hypocrite. And that's how I broke her down, man. So anyway, Ooh, Say It Again centers on how to proceed with wholesome pretenders and erotic hypocrites. And then manipulative time wasters, which is the woman who's not interested in you, but she's going to try to pretend like she is. Refer back to the Tanya and the bowling alley situation. That's where my book, audiobook, The Possibility of Sex, comes into play. Possibility of sex centers around the archetype of the manipulative time waster. And in simple terms, it tells you that mode 1 is the key to exposing a manipulative time waster. If you try to be vague and ambiguous or misleading and manipulative, you're going to get played.
Man, that's a great breakdown. And the more you talk about all the, all these things, I'm like, damn, nigga, I really don't got as much game I thought I had. Shit. Well, that's why you coming on the show and you the expert and shit. So before we just kind of continue, I want to basically shout out to everybody here. We have Alan Roger Currie, guys. For those of you who want to like the video, let's get the likes up. For those of you brothers that want a super chat, I know some people say it's not available in your region, but you can support the show by if you want a super chat on the iPhone. There's no little amount you can do, like 99 cents. The Android. One thing we also want to say for this part of the Manosphere, there are different factions, but for our writers and our moderators, we are having this award show, right? And so we have a poll that you can go and vote for, and that is, the writer of the year and the Black YouTuber of the year. Those are the two big awards. And I'm gonna shout out Truth from Troy. I'm gonna ask that question also. So, guys, and the award that's going to be given is the Charles Tyler Black YouTuber of the Year and the Charles Tyler Negromanosphere Writer of the Year. You guys know my buddy Charles Tyler. He did pass away a few months back. So, in his honor, we give the Charles Tyler Cup awards to our writers and our staff because it's time. We are starting off small. We do want to be able to give our own Black writers and our own Black YouTubers, let them know that we appreciate them, that we appreciate their work, that we appreciate Alan Roger Currie and Donovan and Rom. So we're just trying to basically do this for our own brothers, right? We're going to do the same thing for the moderators. So guys, get the likes up here on the channel and stuff like that. Let me ask you this, because Truth from Troy says, Alpha male strategists had the nerve to call ARC outdated. Okay. So because dating has changed since the 60s to now, people are going to say, well, you grew up in a different time era, Alan. So what you have to say that happened in like the 80s is different than it is now. What do you have to say to those people who say like your information is not relevant to today's dating world?
That's bullshit.
Why is it bullshit?
Because if you analyze today's dating scene, there's a few what I would call small nuanced differences between, say, 2018 and 1998 or 1988. But for the most part, the dating scene starting with 1975 up until now has generally just been different variations of the same dating scene. It hasn't really changed. Now, here's where it would be a big change. If you had someone that was offering dating advice that was relevant in 1945 and 1955 versus 1975, 85, and 95, now that's a big difference.
Okay.
That would be a big ass difference. But as far as, again, if you're talking about the difference between, say, 1988, 1998, 2008, and 2018, there's been what I would call small nuanced differences. Mm-hmm. But as far as anything major, because the big thing is this, man, starting with the early to mid 70s, premarital sex became more common in society and more acceptable, okay, as well as casual sex became more common and more acceptable. And see, this is where Mole 1 comes in. Because, like, if I went back into, say, a time machine, mm-hmm, and I went back to the year 1945, and I was trying to be Mole 1 with women, man, I would be getting slapped left and right, man. Mm-hmm. I would have drinks thrown in my face. Because women would be like, I'm not that kind of girl. I don't engage in no premarital sex. You got to be my husband. And they would be telling the truth. Because casual sex, I mean, with the exception of, your small percentage of exceptions in society, mm-hmm, again, dating before the 1960s was all about sex within the context of marriage. Like, mm-hmm, most women waited until marriage to have sex for the first time. Okay. That ain't the case nowadays. Women are fucking, man. You know my stories, Oshay. I met women at 10 o'clock, and by 10:15, those women were sucking my dick or giving me some pussy. So, no, number one, nobody can say, Alan, your approach is disrespectful, it's crass, it's, socially unacceptable. Why? Women are fucking.
Right.
So why shouldn't I talk about fucking in the first conversation? Because I've had people say that, I don't think you should talk about sex in the very first. Why not? Why not? I've had women suck my dick 10 to 15 minutes after I met them for the first time. So why shouldn't I be talking about sex?
Exactly.
I'm trying to think. I'll tell you one area. We touched on this. I think the very first time you interviewed me, and I frowned on it. You started laughing uncontrollably. Here's one change that millennials are different than, say, my age group, if nothing else. A lot of millennials, man, they communicate a lot through text message and electronically.
Mm-hmm.
Like people in the 1980s and the early to mid 1990s, you didn't have cell phones and shit.
Mm-hmm.
People weren't doing no electronic communication like they do today. So that's, if nothing else, I would say that's the one area that I would say that's different in 2018 versus, say, 1988 or the early 90s, is that a lot of men and women do a lot of communication through text.
Okay.
So the only argument somebody can say about me is if somebody was to say, well, Alan Roger Currie, man, he ain't came out with a book that specifically talks about text message game. How to strengthen my text message game. And because of that, I think his shit is outdated, man, because he ain't got no book specifically on text message game. See, that's where I probably would have to say, okay, yeah, I don't have no book that deals specifically with how to hook up with a woman exclusively through text message. Because I don't like the shit. And you know that from my previous interviews with you. I don't like men who put too much emphasis on electronic communication.
Right.
I believe you should be interacting with women, number one, face to face. And if that absolutely positively can happen, over the phone.
Okay.
But fuck all these text message exchanges, man. That's to me is the one major thing that's changed over the last roughly 20 years.
Okay. Shout out to Riz Jeezy 40 with the $5 super chat, man. Always see that brother coming through, man. I really appreciate that. Damn, I don't know. Is there anything else that I need to ask or?
I can't think of anything. But I will say this. If we're gonna go ahead and wrap up, the first I do this every time I come on Oshay's show.
Okay.
If you're one of the first 5 people, I said 5. I didn't say the first 25.
First 5.
Because every time I say the first 5, I get like 30 emails. Brothers be like, yeah, man, I was watching you on Oshay and shit. I think I'm one of the top 5. I'd be like, no, brother, you like number 31. Oh, really? Real? Are you serious? So the first 5 people to write me at coaching@mode1, MODEONE.net, coaching@mode1, MODEONE.net. If you don't own it already, now, of course, if you already own either my ebook or audiobook, please don't write me, But if you don't own my book, The Possibility of Sex, The Beta Male Revolution, well, I was going to limit it to those 2 books, but I'll open it up to all my books. If you don't own Mode 1, particularly my updated ebook, Who Said Again, Possibility of Sex, or Beta Male Revolution, if you're one of my top 5, first 5, I'm going to either send you one or 2. I'm either send you the ebook version of one of those 4 books, or I'm going to send you, if you don't have an audible.com account, I'm going to send you a link so you can get a free audiobook. You can't get the free audiobook, though, if you already have an account on what's known as audible.com. That's Amazon.com's audiobook division.
Okay. So, guys, do that. Coaching@mode1.net. Now, guys, because you guys have been so great, I typically, Alan, because he never asked for that, but I typically will send him a little something for coming on, because typically on these streams, it's pretty much like a free Patreon stream for him and us, because certain questions or certain information he might not put on this public channel, but because it's almost a 2-hour stream. Shout out to Dr. Pimpin'. What up, man? It's good to see you, man. You got to email me back, play out of Dallas. good Dr. So we basically try to, whenever he comes on, try to do somewhat of a giveaway for the brothers, man. So like I said, typically he doesn't even do this on his own channel, but since he's coming over to here, and like I said, Alan Roger Currie is not only probably the best black dating coach in America, he's probably one of the best dating coaches in America. Okay, so this is it's the truth. He's on Wikipedia, right? I'm only on Niggapedia, but he's on Wikipedia. Okay, it's a difference between being on Wikipedia and Niggapedia. And I can say this, man. I cannot say enough about Alan Roger Currie. Because he gave a lot of credibility. Because I'm not a writer. I mean, I write an article every now and then, but I'm not a writer. I've never sold any books as a writer. Alan Roger Currie is a flawless writer. He's very good. And obviously, I don't want to say this, but you will win an award on Negromanosphere.com for this. Ron Wills will have the best article of the year, but Alan Roger Currie will win most viewed articles. There was a time on the site that Alan Roger Currie was getting more views on his articles than 90% of black YouTubers were getting on their YouTube views. So imagine that. You got more people at one point that was reading his articles than niggas was watching on YouTube. So think about that. And that's, YouTube is a built-in community. And think about the Negromanosphere blog. All he was doing was just sending it out on Twitter, and he had people engaging with his content like that. So it just goes to show the power of his stuff. Let me get Ann James on here too. Shout out to Ann James because he wasn't a moderator on this channel. So shout out to Ann James. So guys, make sure you email coaching@mold1.net. And for those of you that want to subscribe to Alan Roger Currie's YouTube channel, let me do that real quick. Alan, just promote your channel. Now his channel is in the description, but let me put his channel here. So for those of you, go ahead and subscribe to him right now. I'm putting it in the channel. And you almost have like 7,000 subscribers, man. How do you feel about being a big time YouTuber now, brother?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Let's see, I gotta bring up your boy's name again, but I know Alpha Male Strategy, he's always bragging about how many YouTube subscribers. Man, I honestly, man, I don't even pay attention to that shit, man. And that's no disrespect against people who are subscribed to my channel. I want to say I do appreciate people who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. But I honestly, man, like the last time Donovan Sharp interviewed me on his show, he knew more about my YouTube subscribers than I did. I felt embarrassed because he was telling me, he said, hey, Alan, man, you got over 6,000 YouTube subscribers. I said, no, I don't. I got about 3,500. He said, no, you don't. You got over 6,000. I said, no, I don't. I was arguing with him. And then I went online while I was talking to him. I said, I'll be damned. I didn't even know how many I had because I keep up as far as subscribers go. The one subscriber I keep up with is my Patreon. I always, almost a daily basis, I keep up on how many Patreon subscribers I have.
Right.
But I don't really pay attention to my YouTube. But again, that said, I do appreciate everyone who has subscribed to my YouTube channel, all the people who watch my YouTube videos and leave great feedback for me in my comment section. Mm-hmm. I'm very appreciative of that. The people who read my articles on the Negromanosphere, I'm very appreciative of that. I'm thankful to Oshay for both giving me the opportunity to write for the Negromanosphere, and also he helped contribute to, I had my best year as a book author and a dating coach in 2017 financially. Mm-hmm. You know, it actually put me in a higher tax bracket, which kind of pissed me off, but you know, that's how well I did. I had to jump up to a new tax bracket, but Oshay contributed to that because he paid me handsomely for my articles. He always paid me not only on time, but a lot of times way ahead of time. And anyway, I'm just appreciative for all the people who are supporters of mine, people who purchase one or more of my ebooks, mm-hmm. everyone who's purchased one or more of my audio books, one or more of my paperbacks. And the final thing I want to say related to today's topic, and I don't want to sound preachy or, I mean, I realize I'm dealing with grown-ass men and grown-ass women, and ultimately they're going to do what they think is best for their love life and sex life. Mm-hmm. But you have to consciously realize if you're a man and you're committed to lying to women and misleading women and manipulating their emotions, toying with their emotions to get them in bed, what you're ultimately doing with most of these women is you're leaving these women emotionally damaged. That's what you're doing. I've seen men have their cars vandalized because of that. I've seen men's reputation ruined because of that. And if nothing else, just women, you know, with a lot of unnecessary heartbreak that no man would want his mother, his sister, his daughter, or his niece to go through. And to be objective on the opposite end, if you're a woman and you running game on these men and cock teasing them and doing shit like that, being just a blatant attention whore, you need to think twice about that shit. Because a lot of these women will come out with these date rape charges, some of them valid, others invalid. But a lot of you women are putting yourselves in a precarious position if you cock tease a man. You can't get a man's dick hard for giggles and laughs. You might be dealing with a motherfucker who's not all the way stable up there. He might just snap. And he might just haul off and beat your ass, or if not beat your ass, just fucking rape your ass because you was spending 2 hours cock teasing his ass. So you need to stop that shit.
Right.
So you women, you need to stop running game on men. Men, you need to stop trying to run game on women. Just be straight up. Mode one, baby. Go out and make some shit happen.
Old one. And Tony Maceo says, pissed off at a higher tax bracket, insert dog face here. Oh, man. And before we go, man, I just want to say this. You know, I talked to Alan Roger Currie and Donovan Sharp separately in November 2016. That's when I reached out and talked to them. Shout out. I'll give a credit where credit is due. Obsidian, he knew Donovan. I didn't know Donovan. And he knew Alan Roger Currie. I didn't know. And I didn't know Rom, but Rom was actually active on YouTube at the time. So I knew of Rom. Well, so when I reached out to Alan Roger Currie, and then I asked him, I think the first article I bought with him was a 600-word article. And I think I asked him, do you think this is going to work? He said, in so many words, nigga, I don't know. But we can try. I was trying to tell him, like, look, you know, I'm kind of looking to make a website that's going to be like somewhat similar to the Return of Kings, but for black men. You know, what do you think? He said, man, I don't think it's going to work. I can tell you almost instantly it was working. And, you know, I cannot say that about enough for you brothers, man, who have stepped up. You know, now we have, you know, I really made a good move with Alan and Donovan in 2016. 2017 is when when we got Sylvanus in Nigeria. We got Burabari in Nigeria. We got, and then at the end of 2017, I ended up with Tony Maceo, who's just been like the steal of 2017. You know, and then in 2018 we got Sheena Odorelle out of Nigeria, out of Ibadan, Nigeria. We ended up getting the brother out of Nairobi, Kenya, who's an awesome writer. We got David Simmons, but he's no longer writing right now. We're trying to get him back there. We just got so many brothers, man, that was so talented. And now this year in 2018, we got Marcus Love. So I just want to say, you know, a lot of people didn't think that black men could come together and do anything, but, you know, we haven't had any monetary problems. You know, we've been able to put up the forum. We've been able to put up the comic. We've been able to put up the Patreon and update the Patreon almost every day. Shout out to LAR Movement, Solo TV 84, Donovan, Rom, the whole Patreon committee gang that helps us do that. We have so many moving parts. We got 5,000 emails, email list of 5,000 on through MailChimp. You know, we have so many things in just 18 months, 3 ebooks, stuff like that. And it just goes to show that you guys support us, right? With the sharing the videos, subscribing to the videos. We've done a lot, man, in just only, you know, really a short period of time. You know, there's blogs that have been up 10 years that haven't been able to put this up. And that's just because of you guys supporting us. So I want to say thank you personally to the people that watch the show, that subscribe, that buy Alan Roger Currie's books, that watch his videos on YouTube. It just goes to show you that black men can work together. And here's the thing. Alan Roger Currie has a personality test in MBA school that said he works better by himself. So, you know, this was something new for him, and he's doing very well with it. What do you got to say about that, Alan?
Damn, you got a good memory, man. You got like a sponge in your head, dude. A
little something, brother, a little something.
Yeah, I'm surprised you remember that tidbit about me. Sure did, yeah. But hey, it's been great, man, collaborating with you, man, because I'm shocked that you said in the early part of this podcast, you said somebody called you a coon. Man, you the most pro-black Negro on motherfucking YouTube, man. How can anybody with a straight face call Oshay Duke Jackson a coon? Ain't nothing coonish about this brother, man. I mean, he represents the hood in YouTube, man. I mean, when you think of the hood equivalent to being on YouTube, you think Oshay Duke Jackson. Let me see what Oshay talking about today. So, yeah, man, it's been cool, man. You've done wonders with the Negromanosphere. It's grown exponentially. You helping brothers get paid like myself for what they love to do, which is like right. It's no greater joy than getting paid for what you love to do. And you've paid me better than any, I'm hesitant to say white, but yeah, I'll say it. Any white person who's hired me to be a freelance columnist or a non-black person who's hired me, you've been nothing but supportive of everything I've done and wanted to do. So, just a lot of love for you, man. A lot of love and respect for you. And I'm gonna still make it out there, man. I'm gonna come out your way, man, in Poland, man. So we can both do an episode of Black Men in Poland, man. I want to be on that show, man. People be like, Alan Roger Currie's in Poland, man.
Let me shout out while you said that. I want to give a shout out to Robert Nolan. Robert Nolan he's a moderator, sent me a song called Foreign Man. And he was like, you know what, man, I got this song I want you to play on your vlog. And he's like, I mean, I'll pay you. I said, man, you ain't gotta pay me, man, because you always support me. Just send me the song, man. And so shout out to him, man. ProLib ENT. So if you guys watch my newest vlog, Black in Poland, you'll hear a Robert Nolan song, Foreign Man, is playing throughout it. Shout out to Dima. And hey man, it's just good to see that you black men are supporting what we're trying to do. Now I'm gonna tell you niggas one thing. I'm gonna just say this off the record. There's one day, I only got a couple more years to be dealing with you motherfucking niggas. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because you niggas are stressful. So I get it, shit. I'm gonna just keep it real, nigga. You niggas get on my motherfucking nerves. I'm not gonna be doing this shit for no 2 more years. What I will do is I'm gonna keep this shit running for you niggas. Get this form. I'm gonna donate this to the community, and when I get done with this motherfucker shit, I'm gonna turn it over to somebody else. Probably like Nii Adder Big Bay, who's my Nii, because Alan Roger Currie. This is what he do. Alan Roger Currie every month will make sure his ads are way at the top and shit on the Negromanosphere. Look, brother, I need you to put my motherfucking ads. Wait, because if you go look at the Negromanosphere, you can see Alan Roger Currie's ads every goddamn where. So he gets that for free too. You know what I'm saying? So we don't charge him for that. But that's Alan Roger Currie, and so I will tell you niggas one thing. I'm tired of y'all, and so I probably got about a year. I'm serious, year or two. And I'm just gonna leave this shit and just give this shit to somebody else. I'm serious, because you niggas ain't gonna kill me. So I'm tired of you niggas. I love you motherfuckers, but I'm tired of you niggas. I don't have time to be fucking with you niggas every day. I don't. I'm almost tired of this YouTube shit. I really don't want to do this shit no more. But because I got a little bit more in the game, about another year, and you get tired of motherfuckers trolling you and all this shit, I'm not gonna be doing this shit for no two. I ain't gonna be no career YouTuber, nigga. I got shit I gotta do. I want to be tricking in peace somewhere away from you motherfuckers. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that everything is cool. We're gonna turn this shit over. Probably need you to run everything and shit. I'm gonna be done with you motherfuckers. But until then, love y'all. Appreciate you. I love you like a play cousin. Anything you want to say to him, Alan?
I just want to quickly add, in addition to my books on Amazon.com and my audiobooks on audible.com, I offer email consultations to clients. I offer Skype and telephone consultations to clients. and I offer one-on-one face-to-face dating coach. Matter of fact, for Oshay's award for best dating coach, if they would add in most traveling dating coach, I would win hands down. I'm gonna say that on your show. I would win because I just traveled. I worked with a client in San Francisco and Los Angeles a few weeks ago. I'm going to go to Miami South Beach in a few weeks and work with some clients.
Okay.
But yeah, I do. So go to directapproachdating.com/coaching.
Okay, let me write that in here.
Directapproachdating.com/coaching.
Directapproachdating.com/what now? Coaching?
Coaching. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll put that in the description. Is there anything else you want me to put in the description while we got you on here?
Just if you don't have it, I can send it to you, but my Amazon link.
Okay.
And my Patreon page link.
Okay, I think let me do that because the Patreon, I'm a proud Patreon of Alan Roger Currie. I'll add that there too. Mode 1. Yeah, but let me say this when we do that. Now, in your actual now your coaching rates, I mean, I don't want to, let me just say, you mind if I say something right now, right? Because I think they're even less than, no disrespect to some people, man, but for all the accomplishments that you have, you're even cheaper than most dudes.
Well, yeah. Particularly if you're talking about my email and my Skype and telephone consultations, yeah, I'm very inexpensive. Matter of fact, much to my brother and a cousin of mine's chagrin, because my older brother and I got a cousin who works on Wall Street. That's one of their criticisms of me. They like, Alan, you undervalue your services, man. You're too cheap. They want me to raise my shit. Now, my one-on-one coaching is somewhat expensive. Like it starts at $1,000 and goes up to $2,750. That's for my one-on-one coaching. Yeah, that's my in-person coaching. So that's not necessarily cheap. But yeah, my Skype and telephone consultation, yeah, it's very reasonable. And my email consultations are dirt cheap. They dirt cheap.
And this is from somebody who, has award-winning books out, Amazon bestsellers. I mean, he's cheaper than, I mean, I know no offense, but he's less expensive than, I think maybe Alpha Male Strategies. I'm pretty sure. I think maybe he might be charging, and it's no shade to him or anything, but I think he's charging, almost, if not close to double. I think it's like a $150 for an hour or something like that, and you're charging for Skype $100. So, guys, if you really need that in your life, go ahead and do it. And Dr. Pimpin says, Oshay, stop that bitch, and you know what you got to do with it, man. No, I'm not. I'm tired of you niggas, man. I'm just keeping it real. So, guys, go ahead, man. And you can read Alan Roger Currie's articles every Monday on Negromanosphere.com. Every Monday. Now, next month, you'll be you'll be somewhere out of town, right?
No, not just coming up. My April, I don't have anything scheduled, but May, I'm going to Miami.
May going to Miami. Okay. So guess who's stepping in to write the Monday articles? Might be me. I don't know, but I'm tired of you niggas, so probably gonna be somebody else. But you might get an article because I am gonna probably go back. So shout out to Alan Roger Currie. I will be on a vacation in April because there's Easter, right? And I will be out of the country again next week. I don't know where I'm going, but I'll be out for another much needed vacation because I want to do the Negromanosphere Awards, and I'm gonna write my first ebook by myself. But it's not gonna be a charge to it because I want to get my feet wet and try to actually put it together. And it's not gonna be as eloquent as Alan Roger Currie. Every fourth word may be fuck or hoe or bitch. I'm dealing with niggas, so I gotta put it to where y'all can understand it. You know how it is. So I will be writing my first book at that time. So I'll take a little bit of sabbatical myself, maybe about almost a month off of YouTube. So I won't be on for about 30 days. So yeah, I'm gonna provide a pretty good, ebook for you guys, and it'll be free, be my theories. Cause I want to put some shit to the game, like he said, mode 1, but it won't be on dating or anything like that. Cause that's not my arena. But, anyways, Alan, I'm really, really happy to have you over here, man. Just really so good to get somebody with your talent And it's just good to say that, that you've been paid on time ahead of time. Because sometimes you got to tell me not to pay you. Because me, I will hit that PayPal button quick on a nigga. And let me just say this, because there's a guy out there. Let's say it's Obsidian. Obsidian called me out the other day on his podcast. He said, that wasn't bad. He says he's transparent with the money that he gets, and that he's willing to open the books. I'm not so willing to, I don't open the books. Tariq doesn't open the books, stuff like that. Well, when you don't do shit, whatever you get, you can open the books. You don't do nothing, right? I just want to say, when I get money, I don't have to open the books because people vouch for what the fuck I'm doing with it. Rom comes on here, Donovan comes on here, you come on here, Tony Mayfields come on here. So nigga, I don't need to open nothing. You know what I mean? When you see the forum and you see the ebooks and you see all the shit that I'm doing, nobody has to open up nothing, motherfucker. A motherfucker who don't have shit, that's who needs to open up the books. Yeah, I'm opening up the books. I didn't do shit in 2016. I didn't do shit in 2017. I'm not doing shit now. So yeah, you can see you don't need to do that when you're not doing anything. So I just wanted to counter that, until you can have somebody come on that's a professional and vouch for your business and vouch for what you do for people with the money that you get, you don't need to do that. That's transparency when people who are credible on something can tell what you do. That's all I wanted to say. Why that nigga call me out, man? I was trying not to be cool with the nigga, but you know what I'm saying? And we had that debate. I even gave that nigga $20. Remember?
Wow.
We had a debate. I feel like I cooked the nigga on the debate. Then as he left, I sent him a donation.
And did he accuse you of not opening up your books?
Because the nigga says with the money that he gets, here's the thing. When you have a motherfucker who don't do nothing at all, they look for any reason that they could have some kind of credibility. So his credibility is, this is what I'm doing with the money, which is really nothing because he gets the money and he doesn't do shit because he's not developing, right? So then the nigga he basically says that I'm not doing, I won't tell people what I'm not being transparent. So he's an industry leader. You can't be an industry leader and lose a motherfucker. Like that don't make no goddamn sense. How can you basically, in other words, the money that I'm getting from people that I'm hiding it or something, or I don't want to tell what I'm doing. Motherfucker, I'm on YouTube every day, super chatting in people's channels, donating. I'm Patreon to 14 people. You know what I'm saying? I stay giving to niggas all the time throughout this sector of YouTube. I've never seen this motherfucker Patreon anybody or donate to anybody, but that's how niggas are. So they want to call you out and say, oh, is Oshay gonna open the books? Is Tariq gonna open the books? Come on, man. Like, nigga, please. I've given more money in this particular part of YouTube than anybody. I'm not trying to brag. It's just the facts. Nobody has put this the more amount of money in Black YouTube in the manosphere that I have. It's not possible. That's all.
You get a cosign from me.
Niggas. All right, man. Well, I ain't gonna keep you too much longer. Is there anything else that you want to say, brother? Or
No, man. I just appreciate you having me once again, man. Always a pleasure to chop it up with you, man. And until the next time.
All right, guys. Again, let me just say this and shout out to everybody. We might have a brother Peel tonight, late night tonight on I think the topic's gonna be a little ratchet. Is has the Black church made men become simps? Something like that. It's a special request topic. So guys, don't forget to go into the description. Go vote for your favorite Negromanosphere YouTubers, writers, all of that. Go ahead and do that, guys. And we're gonna have a really great award show week. Again, Alan, man, thank you for everything you've done for me, man. I appreciate you, family.
Love to you, brother.
Peace.